You know the big names from American history, right? Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln. But what if I told you that some of the most important figures, the people who literally drew the map and wrote the rule book, are people you've probably never even heard of? While today, we're going to pull one of these forgotten founders out of the shadows.
So our story kicks off right here in Dane County, Wisconsin, home to the state capital, Madison. It was founded way back in 1836. And, like thousands of counties all over America, it was named to honor someone really important. But the question is, who on earth was Nathan Dane?
And right there, that's the puzzle. The guy this county is named for was a lawyer from Massachusetts, who, as far as anyone knows, never even visited Wisconsin. So why would the people building a new territory name their capital county after some guy from clear across the country? Well, the answer is hiding in one single revolutionary document.
And that document is the Northwest Ordinance of 1787. Now, this might not sound exciting, but it was arguably one of the most important laws passed in early American history. It was basically the blueprint for the entire westward expansion of the United States.
I mean, the scale of this thing is just staggering. The ordinance set up the rules for all the land north of the Ohio River and east of the Mississippi. And we're not talking about some abstract patch of land. This was the designated path for 5 future states: Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, and of course, Wisconsin.
And the folks living there at the time, they knew how vital this was. When a judge named James Duane Dottie was trying to convince the legislature to name the county after our mystery man, this is what he told them. He called it the fundamental law of the country. I mean, that's some pretty high praise.
And here's why it was so fundamental. The ordinance laid out a super clear 3-step process for a territory to become a full-fledged state, totally equal to the original 13. It was like a practical recipe for building a nation. But the most powerful ingredient, that was yet to come.
Yeah, a single clause, added almost like an afterthought, would go on to define the moral and political soul of America for the next 75 years.
So picture this. The members of the Continental Congress, they're finalizing the text, they're ready to pass this huge new law, but just before they do, one delegate from Massachusetts stands up and says, "Hold on, I've got an amendment."
And this is it. Article 6. In just 35 words, it completely bans slavery from the entire Northwest Territory. And what is absolutely incredible is that this monumental clause, a direct challenge to a cornerstone of the American economy, was approved unanimously. No debate.
This one sentence drew a line in the sand, or more accurately, a line in the river. Suddenly, the Ohio River became the physical border between freedom to the north and slavery to the south. This single decision basically set the stage for everything that came next: the debates, the compromises, and, eventually, the Civil War.
And the man who wrote those words, the one who proposed that last-minute history-bending clause, it was him, Nathan Dane, the quiet lawyer from Massachusetts. And that is why his name is on a county courthouse in Wisconsin.
Dane really came from humble beginnings. He was the son of a farmer, but he was so smart and so driven he got himself into Harvard. He became a really successful lawyer and eventually got elected to the Continental Congress, which is of course where he made his mark on America's future.
But here's the thing. As incredible as that anti-slavery contribution was, it's not even his whole legacy. His work on the map was done, but he had another, even more obscure title to earn.
Because after he shaped the physical map of the country, he set out to shape its legal mind. It all started with the number 9.
As in 9 volumes. That's how big his other great life's work was. After he retired from politics, Dane took on this colossal project, creating the first ever complete summary and explanation of all of American law.
Now, to really get the impact here, you got to know this word, jurisprudence. It's basically the theory of law, the philosophy of how it all works. And for a brand new nation trying to sort out its legal system, there was no guide, no instruction manual.
Until Nathan Dane wrote one. His 9-volume abridgment became the go-to book for every lawyer and judge in the young United States, and it earned him the title, the Father of American Jurisprudence. And his influence just keeps going. Turns out it was Dane who proposed the resolution in Congress that kicked off the Constitutional Convention in the first place. Oh, and the money he made from his giant book? He donated it to his old school, Harvard, creating the foundation for what we now know as Harvard Law School.
So, when you actually put all the pieces together, you start to see this quiet, immense legacy of a man most of us have never heard of. He was, truly, an architect of the American nation.
And don't just take my word for it. As the historian James Cornelius said, his work was a watershed in the development of American liberty. Even Abraham Lincoln, the man who would finish the job Dane started with Article 6, knew all about Dane's contribution.
So really, it all boils down to this three-part legacy. Nathan Dane shaped America's geography by drawing that crucial line between freedom and slavery. He shaped its government by pushing for the Constitution. And he shaped its law by literally building the foundation for American legal education. His fingerprints are all over the country.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? He's got a plaque in a Wisconsin courthouse, but his impact stretched from coast to coast. How many other forgotten founders are out there, hiding in the footnotes of history books, whose quiet decisions completely shaped the world that we all live in today?